What's up, everybody? It's TR with Earthangelmushrooms. Today I'm going to make a video on how I hydrate grain for grain spawn. But before I do, if I have ever helped you out on this channel, please subscribe to the channel and like this video. Also, if you're interested in ready-to-fruit blocks, if you're growing to sell, I don't sell singles and doubles, but I sell blocks to growers. So shoot me an email at earthangelmushrooms@gmail.com. So back to it, grain and how I hydrate it. I will tell you what I used to do and what I'm doing now. Up until 2 weeks ago, I used this tankless hot water heater. It has the face off, but most Rheem tankless hot water heaters, you can buy an aftermarket chip that brings the temperature up to 185. That's on the low end to hydrate grain, but I made it work. 2 weeks ago, it decided to stop working. Sad day, but it ended up helping me out. So I thought, what can I do? And 1 week I had to go back to turkey fryers in pots. Now I'm doing about 2,000 pounds of grain a week. And I did that in 2 turkey fryers. It was miserable. So what I did was work some magic. So what I got, I ordered some wok burners from Amazon. They're just like turkey fryer burners. You can get them for propane or natural gas. I have natural gas. I already had these stock tanks, right? And I already had Unistrut, and I already had casters. Unistrut is like metal. You can see that stuff. Casters I get from surpluscenter.com. They're the cheapest casters I've found. I use metal ones on here. Then I have a welder, so I just welded a rack. Put the stock tank on top. I think this is I don't know, 200-gallon stock tank, something like that. PVC. Everybody's gonna say, is that gonna melt? Well, I have this at an angle. 1, to help it drain, and 2, it keeps most of the heat going out the back. So there's PVC fittings, a bulkhead, which makes it go, through the floor of the stock tank, and then I have a screen that keeps the grain in and lets the water out. So I fill it up, let it get hot, put my grain in. So here's one that I already did right here. Look at all that grain. Super early here. I need breakfast and nutrients. Delicious. I'm using wheat and milo. Why do I use 2 different types of grain? One is more forgiving than the other. One hydrates better than the other. So wheat is cheap. It hydrates very easily, holds a lot of water before it gets mushy, which is good. We don't want mushy grain. You want structure to the grain, so it's not super mushy. We want about 41% moisture. So if you want to check your moisture, most grains, 41%, something around there. It'll be different for different grains. Low 40s. You don't want it too dry, but you do want it on the drier side if you're going to make a mistake. Because if you get it on the wetter side, no bueno. So I'm using 2 different grains. One for the small size inoculation point, so it grows out, colonizes a block faster. And the other one, it's easier to hydrate, holds a lot of water. And so little grains are harder to get perfect, like milo and millet. They love to give you fits. So I highly recommend using a hard grain that's great for cultivation. but if you screw it up, it'll botch everything. So what do? You add an easier grain. In addition to that, I have employees. So it makes it easier for them because they don't have the artistic knack of looking at it and getting them to check it. Anyway, Milo wheat, and I use one because it's smaller, little, lots of inoculation points, but it's harder to get perfect. Wheat, a little bit bigger, holds water well, is way more forgiving. So in regards to the actual hydration, I can't give you a specific time. I can give you rough estimate times. And I say that because grain batch to batch, I'm saying when I order the grain and it comes in, it will hydrate differently from batch to batch. Typically Milo in this amount of this water will take about 25 minutes. So in basically boiling water. Of course it's going to cool down, it's going to rise back up. But about 25 minutes from when I put it in there, if it's at boiling or close to boiling, it'll be about 25 minutes. Wheat, 10 minutes less, 5 minutes less. And the reason I'm giving vague numbers is because it changes batch to batch of grain. So if I order it 1 month, it'll do 25 minutes Milo, 25 minutes. 2 months down the road, 3 months down the road, if I'm only going by time, I might overhydrate it or underhydrate it at 25 minutes. So you either need to do a moisture check or learn what it feels like. And remember, you would rather be on the drier side than the wetter side. Now this is not going to show it on the video very well, but what I'm looking for is that it's hydrated and kind of soft, but still has structure. So let me grab a wheat seed. So here's a wheat seed. Also with wheat, it starts off really light, like a light tan, and becomes almost translucent. So let's see if we can get it to focus. No, but you'll see me press it and it still has structure, but there's kind of a softness to it. Now it's not mushy, it's just softer. And then I know that it's hydrated correctly. Now, different grain is gonna act differently even at the same moisture content. Let's grab a piece of Milo. Milo, AKA sorghum. So this one, even at the same moisture level, will be way harder. But if you overhydrate it, it's going to have a tendency to go bacterial. So I use my fingernails, and I've learned to judge it based on how easily my fingernail goes in it, or when I squeeze it, and the look. Or the other way, put it in your mouth. I mean, it's already pasteurized. And then I can tell by how easily my teeth go through it. Oh, early morning here in Missouri, there's nothing like a breakfast full of hydrated wheat and Milo, getting ready to be cooked for some mushes. I buy by the pallet, of course, and it's like 10 bucks a bag for Milo, 9 bucks a bag, 50-pound bag for wheat. Prices have gone up a little. Maybe it's 12 and 11, I don't know what it is. If you can buy more, definitely buy more if you're making a lot of spawn. So again, times will change. You can't just go on a certain time. You have to have a little bit more data than that, because the times of which it will take to hydrate are going to change. So you can't just do a 1 hour for this like you see online. It'll never be perfect every time, and spawn is something that has to be damn near perfect or it will screw you hardcore. Can it be done? Yes, you can do it. Trust me, you can do it. But you're gonna have to do it over and over. Do some moisture checks. I think there's another video online about moisture checks in the microwave on how to do them. You're just cooking off the water and weighing the dry matter. Also, there's another video that you should watch if you're making your own grain spawn about times, the amount of time you're sterilizing. There are a lot of people that do not bring the internal temp of the bag to the appropriate temps because you have no way to look at it via a probe. So watch that other video if you're going to make grain spawn in regards to how long you cook. So anyway, stock tank, some PVC, where's it at? Right over there. Some casters, some unistrut, little bit of welding. And this whole setup right here with the pipe, the valves, and that stock tank's like $200. The other stuff's maybe $150. A couple hours of time just welding those racks up. To make a lot of spawn, this is about the cheapest way I can think of. Let me show you something before I get off of here. There's my dog. She just ran by. You know what I want for breakfast this morning? Let me tell you. Breakfast of champions right there. All those soybean hulls. Rona, you love soybean hulls, don't you? Dogs love soybean hulls. And you know what else they love after they eat a bunch of high fiber soybean hulls? They love to poop on the floor in the middle of the night and wake you up via the stench dog poop filled with soybean hulls. But they love them. Anyway, hopefully I helped you out today. If I did, subscribe to my channel, like the video, have a good week, stay motivated, keep growing mushrooms, keep hydrating that grain, keep making spawn. We'll talk to you later.